Good afternoon, everyone. TJ here. So I went to a Korean restaurant probably a few weeks back, and I had something um, that's very similar to something that I consider to be my kryptonite. So usually I'll always say that like chips and salsa is a weakness, just like chocolate is a weakness of mine. And so I had this kimchi salsa at a Korean restaurant, and I thought that I would try to replicate it the best that I could, since I really, really liked it. So I'm just gonna kind of show you my version. And so I'll just turn my camera down and we'll turn the light. There we go. All right, so you won't see me, but you'll hear me. And so for this particular recipe, for the kimchi salsa, is that I have chopped up kimchi slaw that I bought from a grocery store. You could buy any brand. I think some are better than others. And then I'll tell you something about the ingredients that are in the kimchi that you have to be careful of when it comes to everything else that you're adding to it. And so then in a bowl, I already have some diced tomatoes that I kind of blitzed or blended in uh, a blender or a food processor. I did cook it just to kind of get that tin taste that comes from like canned tomatoes out. And so we're going to add everything to this bowl. All right. So I used 1 can of tomatoes, 3/4 cup of kimchi. And so we're going to add the kimchi to the tomatoes. All right. Okay. I'll move this over here. Okay. All right. So to the rest of these ingredients, usually when you think of making spaghetti sauce, you'll hear people add like a little bit of sugar, and I'm just gonna add just a little bit of sugar to this, just because tomatoes can be very acidic. But I'm not gonna add too much. I'm just gonna add half a teaspoon of stevia to this, and again, I'm not adding a lot just because I don't want it to change the tanginess of it. And so then from there, now kimchi's got spices already in it. It's got chili flake, and then it may have like gochujang, which is just like a red chili paste. And so I'm just gonna add just a little bit. And so I'm gonna add a teaspoon, a generous teaspoon, because I like stuff spicy. And so we'll set that aside. And then to this, I am going to add 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. So ground ginger, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna add just 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder as well. Now the kimchi already has garlic powder in it, or garlic in it, so I'm not going to add very much. Now if you've ever had that mistake where you bought the wrong garlic powder, I did that by buying the powder instead of the granulated, so it's a lot finer. And then to this I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. Just a little bit, not much. And so I'm just gonna do 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is half of this 1/4 teaspoon that I've got. And then to that, just to kind of bring out the Asian flavors, I'm going to actually add just a teaspoon of sesame oil. And then from there, I'm just going to essentially mix everything together until it's well combined. All right. So this is kimchi salsa. Now, the only thing that I probably would have done maybe just a little differently is that I probably would have drained a little bit of the liquid out from the diced tomatoes that were canned, just because the salsa maybe is a little watery. You could cook it down. I didn't want to cook it down to get rid of some of that water because I didn't want to lose the benefit of the kimchi. Since kimchi is fermented, it's got lactic acid, bacteria, and other enzymes to help it ferment. And, that stuff is good for your gut. And so I didn't want to cook it down to lose that benefit. But this would be great with just regular tortilla chips. Even if you did like, let's say, a standard kind of taco, I think that would be great on a taco, or a lettuce wrap, or some other sort of thing that you could eat it with. But otherwise, I will put the recipe, my version of the recipe from the recipe that I found, in the body of the text. And if you try it, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.